Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnava.
This same as practices. In this way, we practice one mantra daily. Each mantra will purify 100 years daily to go forward. This mantra is very powerful. Given by Vyasadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva, and spoken by Sukhamukha Dravasangita. That is explained in the beginning. It's like a ripening fruit in the tree is already very sweet, and if it is touched by the beak of the parrot, it becomes sweeter. This is the natural cause. The parrot touches the fruit, cuts the tree by its beak. Beak is called beak. Then it becomes still sweeter. Sukhamukha Dravasangita. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is already sublime, transcendental. And when it is spoken through the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami, it becomes still sweet, just like the fruit. The parrot is also called Shuka. It is called Sukapokhi, Shuka bird. This comparison is as the fruit becomes still sweeter by the touch of the beak of the parrot. Similarly, Sukadeva Goswami, because it is already spoken by Vyasadeva, ripening fruit, the experience, contribution of Vyasadeva, all the Vedic people. But when it is spoken through the parampara system of Sukadeva Goswami, it becomes still sweet. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended to study Srimad Bhagavatam from Bhagavatam. Bhagavata Parodiya Bhagavata Sthana. Bhagavat means the Granth Bhagavat, book Bhagavat. Bhagavat means about Krishna. Bhagavad is Krishna. And anything in relationship with Krishna is called Bhagavat. So the devotee is also in relationship with Krishna. He is also called Bhagavat. Mahabhagavat. Those are high level, first class devotees are called Mahabhagavat. So, Bhagavatam, it is the essence of Vedic knowledge, and when it is received through the parampara system, pure devotee, then it will become still more sweet than before. That is the purpose. So we should try to learn, get it by heart, at least one sloka or two sloka in a week. And if you chant that, you are chanting so many songs. Similarly, if you chant one or two verses of Bhagavad, that will make you very quickly advance for spiritual realization. We have therefore taken so much trouble to get the transliteration, the meaning, so that the reader may take full advantage of the mantra. It is not that to show some scholarship that I know so much Sanskrit. No. It is just offering the facility to learn the mantra, because one who chants the mantra, they are all transcendental vibrations. Yes, Hare Krishna mantra. This is Maha mantra. But they are also mantras. All the verses from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Krishna, spoken by Bhagavad also spoken by Krishna. That's the incarnation of Krishna. They are also mantras. Infallible, destructive. So, try to get it by heart, chanting. Either you chant by saying the book or get it by heart. That is all you say. But try to chant one, two shlokas daily.
Shri Shuka Uvacha Atma Mayamrite Rajan Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha Nakhatketa Sambandha Swapna Nagateta Sambandha.
Like that. Is it written like that?
Gateta Sambandha.
Artha separated.
No, together. Gateta.
Therefore, na ghati tatha sambandha. It's the noun. Na ghati tatha sambandha. Like that. Ta should be long. Ta. Na ghati ta artha sambandha. Na ghati tatha sambandha. Is that alright?
Yes.
Pronounced like that.
Nagateta Sambandha.
Loud. Nagati tatha sambandha.
Nagateta Sambandha.
Nagati tatha sambandha.
Nagateta Sambandha. Swapna Drashturivanjasa. Swapna Drashturivanjasa.
Oh, again, pronounce.
Shri Shuka Uvacha Atma Mayamrite Rajan Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha Nagateta Sambandha Swapna Drashturivanjasa.
Very important part. Now we shall go to the 12th sentence. Again, right. Sri Shuka Uvacha. One sentence.
Atma Mayamrite Rajan Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha Nagateta Sambandha Swapna Drashturivanjasa.
Again.
Shri Shuka Uvacha Atma Mayamrite Rajan Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha Nagateta Sambandha Swapna Drashturivanjasa.
Anyone can recite? Oh, let's see the book and recite.
Shri Shuka Uvacha Atma Mayamrite Rajan Parasyanubhavatmanaha.
Parasya.
Parasya.
It is transliteration here, the long A. You have seen? You just try to follow the transliteration, that will be easier.
Parasyanu.
Parasyanu bhavatmana. Atma.
Yes, long A over
Yeah.
Atma. Atma.
Now beginning.
Parasyanu.
No, the first line.
Shishuka vacha.
Srisuka vacha.
Atma mayam ruche rachan.
Atma mayam ruche rachan.
Shri Sukha Vacha. Atma mayam ruche rajan. Parasyanu bhavatmana. Nagate
Nagati tat sambandhya. Sapna dastu vivatmana. Sapna dastu vivanjasa. Next, you read one after another.
Shri Sukha Vacha. Atma Maya Vitajana. Prashyanu
Parasyanu bhavatmana. Again, you repeat.
Shri Sukha Vacha. Atma Maya Vitam. Atma Maya Viteraja.
You read the translators. The thing is hearing the meter and it is, that's all. The writing is already there. Transliteration. Simply you have to hear the rhythm. Just like you are chanting so many sound by hearing. The hearing is very important. The child learns another language by hearing. Pronunciation, hearing. That is natural. If you hear one thing repeatedly, you will learn. You will learn. So one has to hear little attentively, not really. There is not easy. Just like you are singing our song in tune. This is very easy. So simply you have to hear. Therefore whole Vedic Shastra is called Shruti. It is a process of hearing. So, this is our old age. These are the warnings that the body is getting rotten. What?
Shri Sukha
Vacha.
Atma Maya Viteraja. Parasyad Bhavattamaha.
Acharya, next man. To give next man. peacefully executed.
Shri Shukuvacha
Shri Shukuvacha
Admamayam Vite Rajan
Admamayam Vite Rajan
Prasyanu Bhavatmanaha Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha Swapna Drastu Ivanjasa
Swapna Drastu Ivanjasa.
Next. Each one of you.
Shri Sukha Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Atma Mayam Rite Rajan
Admayam Vite Rajan
Parasanu Bhavatmanaha
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Nagatata
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Sapnadastu Ivanjasa.
Swapna Drastu Ivanjasa.
What is the Anjasa spelling?
Ivanjasa
That long A or short A?
Long A
Yes. Ivanjasa.
Ivanjasa
Anjasa means wholesale.
Shri Sukha Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Atma Mayam Rita Rajan
Admayam Vite Rajan
Parasyana
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Sapnadastu Ivanjasa.
Swapna Drastu Ivanjasa.
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Nagate Tata Sambandha. Combined together, it becomes Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Tartha. Tartha. What is the spelling? Tartha.
T long A R T H A
T-H-A?
T A R T H A Nagata
Oh, T-H-A. T-H-A. That must be R.
Yes, Gate Tartha. G-H-A-T-E-T-A-R.
T-A-R.
T-A-R-T-H-A.
Yeah, T-A-R-T. So you are missing the R. Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Nagate Tata
Alright, next.
Shri Sukha Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Atma Mayam Rite Rajan
Admayam Vite Rajan
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Swapanam Jistur Uvanjasa
Swapna Drastu Ivanjasa.
Next.
Shri Sukha Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Atma Mayam Rite Rajan
Admayam Vite Rajan
Parasyanu Bhavatmana
Parasyanu Bhavatmana.
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Parasyanu Bhavatmana
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha.
Nagate Tata Sambandha
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 Papana Drashtu Ivanjasa
Swapna Drastu Ivanjasa
Papana Drashtu Ivanjasa
Swapna Drastu Ivanjasa
Sri Sukhavata
Sri Sukhavata
Atmamayam Devasham
Atmamayam Devasham
Prasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Prasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Nagati Tata Sambandha
Nagati Tata Sambandha
Swapna Drastu Ivandrasa
Swapna Drastu Ivandrasa
Sri Sukha Uvacha
Sri Sukha Uvacha
Atma Mayam Rate
Atmamayam Rate Rajan
Atmayam
Rate Rajan
Atmamayam Rate Rajan
Parasya Anababu Atmaha Nagate Thar Sambandha Nagate Thar Sambandha Swapana Dastu Iva
Swapna Dasturi Vandasa.
Swapna Dasturi Vandasa.
Now, you were right.
Sri Sukhavata
Sri Sukhavata
Atmamayam Rajan
Very good.
Atmamayam Rate Rajan
Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Prasyanu Bhavatmanaha
Na ghate tartha sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Swapna Dasturi Vandasa.
Swapna Dasturi Vandasa.
Get it. Next. Come here. So you have to study like that. So many slokas, I am taking so much labor. If you do not read it carefully, it is not for that I am making business. For selling only, and not for my students. You must all read like this, practice. Why so much trouble is being taken? Word to word meaning, and then transliteration. If you chant this mantra, it is that vibration is clean. That must be there. And wherever you go, in any part of the world, you can chant this mantra, so you will be received like God. It's so nice. And in India, it actually received like God. If you chant this mantra, they will so offer the respect so much. Be the mantra. Chant.
Sri Sukhavata Sri Sukhavata Atmamayam Rate Rajan Atmamayam Rate Rajan Prasyanu Bhavatmana Prasyanu Bhavatmana Nagate Tata Sambandha
Parasyanu Bhavatmana
Prasyanu Bhavatmana Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha Parasyanu Bhavatmanaha Nagate Tata Sambandha Nagate Tata Sambandha Nagate Tata Sambandha Nagate Tata Sambandha Swapna Dasturi Vandasa Swapna Dasturi Vandasa
Next. Banu Guru.
Sri Sukhavata
Sri Sukhavata
Atmamayam Rate Rajan
Atmamayam Rate Rajan
Parasyanu Bhavatmana
Parasyanu Bhavatmana
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Nagate Tata Sambandha
Swapna Drastu Ivandrasa
Swapna Drastu Ivandrasa.
Thank you very much. He has pronounced very nice. So he'll teach how you. Yes, next.
Sri Shukovacha
Shri Shukovacha
Atmamayamrite Raja
Atmamayamrite Rajan
Narasanu Bhavatmana
Vaishnava
Nagatita Sambandana
Nagatita Sambada
Swapna Dvasturi Manjasa
Svamadashtu Manjasa.
Very good.
Shri Sukovacha
Shri Shukovacha
Atmamayamrite Rajan
Atmamayamrite Rajan
Rashanubhavatmanaha
Vaishnava
Nagate Dharta Sambandha
Nagatita Sambada
Swapnadrasturi Vanjasa
Svamadashtu Manjasa.
Very good. Yeah. In this way, each one of you will chant and others will follow. Then 1 or 2 days you get this sloka by heart. You can chant. You can do that. Now, read the word meanings and translation.
Sri Sukovacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Atma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mayam, the energy, Shite, without, Rajan, O King, Purashasha,
Rajan.
Rajan, O King,
This
Purashasha,
is addressing. Nominative is Raja and addressing is Rajan.
Purashasha,
Parasha,
Purasha,
Parasha, yes.
Purasha, of the pure soul, Anubhava Atmanaha, of the purely conscious, Na, never, Kateta, it can so happen, Artha, meaning, Sambandha, relation with the material body, Svapna, dream, Drastahu, of the seer, Eva, like it, Anujasaha, completely.
Anjasa.
Anjasa, completely. Translation. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O King, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no meaning to the relationship of the pure soul in pure consciousness with the material body. It is just like the dreamer seeing his own body working.
The purport.
Purport. The question of Maharaj Parikshit is perfectly answered as to how a living entity began his material life, although he is apart from the material body
It
and
is very
mind.
important question. Parikshit Maharaj inquired, many people inquired, how the living entity was with Krishna. He became fallen in this material. Is not that? This question is there. So this question is answered. How the living entity was with Krishna became fallen down in contact with this material quality. So this is read the translation.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O King, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
It is simply the influence of the material energy, nothing. Actually he has not fallen. The another example is given, it's like the moon covered with scattered clouds, the passing cloud. You have seen, everyone has experienced. The cloud passes and it appears the moon is moving. Have you seen this?
Yes.
So actually the moon is not moving. It is a maya, illusion. It appears as moon is moving. But similarly, a living entity, because its spiritual path of the Supreme, it has not fallen. It has not fallen. But He is thinking I am fallen. I am material. That is it. He is thinking I am the body. Actually the body has no connection with me. That we experience. That the body has no connection with the soul. The body is changing, dying, but I am the same. The same example, the moon. The cloud is passing over in different way. The moon is far away from the cloud, and it has nothing to do with the cloud, but it appears the moon is moving. Try to understand. I have questions and answers. It is very important. Atmaya, Vitiraj, except Atmaya, the illusory energy, it is the maneuver or handling of the illusory energy of Krishna. This illusory energy develops when we forget Krishna. It is, in other words, this illusory identification of me with the body is simply due to my forgetfulness. We wanted to forget, we wanted to give up Krishna and wanted to enjoy this material world. Therefore, Krishna is giving us, just like when you play some part in a drama, if you feel that I am king, then you can talk very nicely. And if you feel that I am Karandar, then you cannot play nicely. Is it not? Feeling must be there. If you are playing the part of a king, then you must have the same courage and feeling that I am king. You have to forget that you have Karandar. Then your part will be very nice, you play. People will appreciate. But if you think simultaneously that I am Karandar, I am playing the part of the king, then you cannot play. So, because we wanted to play the part of Krishna, enjoyer, Krishna is giving us chance, so you feel like me. I am Krishna, I am God. All these aspects, those who are feeling like that, I am master, I am king, I am Krishna, I am God. They are all simply in that feeling only. That's all. And this feeling is created by Krishna. Unlike you want to play the part of a king, I shall train him in such a way that the director means, dramatic director means, he creates a feeling. His direction is nothing but how to feel. Sometimes we play in our younger age, Chaitanya I introduced, and one big director, Amritalal Bose, he was just like grandfather. He was one of the, just like in England, Shakespeare and others, big dramatic, well-known persons. This Amritalal Bose and Girish Chandra Bose, they introduced in India theatre. So we called him to give us direction. He was giving us direction, and repeatedly he was telling that he feel like that, especially to me, he feel like that. So actually when he plays according to his direction, the audience are all crying. And we could not understand how they cried. We could not understand. On the stage when he played, it was so perfect that all audience are crying actually. So there's meaning over there. The whole thing is artificial. But the effect to the audience becomes so nice. So similarly, we are actually nothing to do with this material world. But we have been trained by the illusory energy in such a way that we are thinking, I am Indian, I am American, I am this, I am that, I am Brahmin, I am Sudra, I have to do this, I have got so much beauty. All these things, simply. We have nothing to do with all this nonsense. But still we are taking it very serious. I have to do like that, I have to do like that. I am this, I am that. That is explained. Atmaya Nitya. Except the influence of that Atmaya, the illusory energy of Krishna. Atmaya Nitya Parasthanu.
Parashanubhavatmanaha.
Parasthanu Vatmana. Na Ghateta. Artha Sambandha. There cannot be any relation at all. Na Ghateta. Cannot. Artha Sambandha. Sapna Drashtu Imanyasa. A very exact example is given. Sapna Drashtu, just like a man seeing dream. Oh, there is tiger, see me, he's crying. The another man who is, where is tiger, why you are crying? But he, in the dream, he is actually feeling the tiger has attacked him. Therefore, this example, na ghatet artha sambandha, there cannot be any meaning of this relationship except like a man dreaming and he's creating a situation. He's dreaming there is a tiger and he's creating a situation, fearful situation. Actually, there is no cause of fear, there is no tiger. That situation is created by dream. Actually, there is no tiger. Similarly, we have created this material world and activity. People are running, identifying, I am the manager, I am the factory owner, I am this, I am that. We have got these politics, we have to defeat such competitors. All these things are created. Exactly like that. Sapna Dishti, Vaishnava, just like a man is creating his particular situation simply by dream. So the answer is, when somebody asks you that when one has become in contact with this material nature, he has not become in contact. He is thinking by the influence of the experiment. Just like same example. A man is dreaming, there is no contact with tiger. Actually, he has no contact with us. Simply, actually, we are not followed. We cannot be followed. But we have created a situation that we are different. Try to understand. It's very important. We have simply created a situation. We have not created a situation. Krishna has given us a situation. Because we wanted to imitate Krishna, so Krishna has given an opportunity, all right, imitate. You want to be imitation king in the stage, so feel like this, play like this, do like this, people will applaud. Ah, very nice king, very nice. So that is it. So everyone in this material world, they are playing some part. They wanted, I want to be Prime Minister, all right. I want to become a very big business magnate. I want to be a leader. I want to be a philosopher. I want to be a scientist. So all this nonsense, they are trying to play. Krishna is giving his opportunity. All right. But they are nonsense, all nonsense. Simple dreams. Just like You are dreaming, next moment, when the dream is gone, everything is finished. No more tiger, no more jungle, no more, everything is finished. Similarly, so long this body is continuing and thinking, I am a responsible leader and this and that. But as soon as this body is finished, gone. Sarva harastaham. Death means, Krishna says, I am dead, I take it away, all, everything, gone. Now just think of our past life. Suppose I was a king or something like that. No, but not. From Gita, it was Acharya. They said, I do not know, that I was a big physician in my last life. Very spotless character, no sin like that, he explained. So maybe, but actually, I have no remembrance that I was a physician. The whole thing gone. I might have been a very big physician, influential physician, having good practice, but where is all about? So, this situation, our contact with matter, is just like dream. Actually, you are not followed. Therefore, because we are not followed, at any moment we can revive our Krishna consciousness. As soon as you understand, they have nothing to do with it. I am simply Krishna's servant, eternal servant. That's all. Immediately becomes liberated. Exactly like that. As soon as you, sometimes we do that, finally fearful dreaming becomes too much intolerable. We break the dream. We break the dream. And it becomes intolerable. Similarly, we can break this material connection at any moment, as soon as we come to the point of Krishna consciousness. Oh, Krishna is my eternal master and eternal. This is it. Actually, we are not fallen. There cannot be any fallen. The same example. Actually, there is no tiger. It is dreaming. Similarly, our fallen condition is also dreaming. We are not fallen. We can simply give up that illusory condition at any moment. At any moment. So if you study all these verses very nicely, you get all this knowledge quickly. Now what is purpose for?
The spirit soul is distinct from the material conception of his life.
Yes, distinct, always distinct. Yes.
But he is absorbed in such material conception because of being influenced by the external energy of the Lord, called Atma Maya. This is already explained in the first canto in connection with Vyasadev's realization of the Supreme Lord and his external energy. The external energy is controlled by the Lord, and the living entities are controlled by the external
Krishna
energy.
said, Mameva prapadante mayame tam taranti. As soon as one surrenders unto me, there is no more illusion. Mayame tam taranti. Immediately. So, people are conditioned, engaged, so many big words in Mahavali, they are undergoing austerities and penances just to become liberated. Yogis, they are also trying to become one. So many endeavors are going on. But the simple process is, as soon as you surrender, that you are not fallen. It was illusion. I was dreaming. I am Krishna. Still, only. I am Krishna. I am Krishna and eternal servant. These are all nonsense. Immediately you don't think. Just try to understand. Immediately, within a second, Liberation can be attained within a second, provided he abides by the order of Krishna. Sarvadharman paristajya mamekam sarvam bhajan. This is so. We are not following, we are thinking following. So we have to give up this nonsense thinking. And then liberation. That's all. Is there any difficulty to understand? Let's see how important it was. It is already there, but you are not reading. Each verse, read every day, carefully. Try to assimilate, understand. And it's more progress. Every day, 100 years. Forward, 100 years forward. Yeah. That's so important, right? How nicely composed like that there. In 2 lines, the whole thing is explained. This is called Shastra. In 2 lines. Then read the first part.
The external energy is controlled by the Lord, and the living entities are controlled by the external energy, by the will of the Lord. Therefore, although the living entity is purely conscious in its pure state, he is subordinate to the will of the Lord, being influenced by the external energy of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, also the same thing is confirmed, that the Lord is present within the heart of every living entity, and all consciousness and forgetfulness of the living entity are influenced by the
because
Lord.
now people may say that why Krishna within the heart gives one type of consciousness to one and another type of consciousness. Because I wanted. I wanted to forget Krishna, so Krishna is giving consciousness. Unlike you can forget me in this way. That is his kindness. There is the Mayavadis, the so-called yogis and karmis, they wanted to forget. Krishna is giving intelligence. All right, you forget me. Like this. And if you want to again revive your relationship with Krishna, I will give you intelligence. Buddhi yogam ladamitam jena maham upajanti. I shall give you intelligence. So Krishna is the Thamang Prabhupada as you want, Krishna. This is facility.
Now the next question will automatically be made as to why the Lord influences the living entity to such consciousness and forgetfulness. The answer is that the Lord clearly wishes that every living entity be engaged in his pure consciousness as a part and parcel of the Lord, and thus be engaged in loving service of the Lord as he is constitutionally made. But because the living entity is partially independent also, he may not be willing to serve the Lord, but may try to become independent as the Lord is. The whole non-devotee class of living entities are all desirous of becoming equally as powerful as the Lord, although they are not fit to become so. The living entities are...
They will never be God, but you see so many persons say, by the influence of the illusion, they think I am God. I shall become God by pressing my nose, by doing this. So this is it. They will never be able. That is not possible. Otherwise there is no meaning of God. If everyone can become God, then there is no meaning of God. But by influence, just like Kurmis Acharya, I shall become millionaire, I shall become trillionaire, I shall become head of the state, I shall become prime minister. This struggle, this is another struggle. I shall become God. This is another struggle. But it is illusion. It is illusion. So, Krishna gives them opportunity, some yogic success. Just like in India there is a rascal, he makes like that and there is immediate some gold and people become after producing a little gold, he becomes God. Another yogi he gives immediately 2 Rasagulla. So, by producing 2 Rasagulla, 4 hours work, he becomes God. This is illusion. These rascals do not know that what is this Rasagulla, 2 Rasagulla. I can purchase from the market. 4 hours. He is becoming God by 4 hours. That is, they have no sense. Oh, he is God. He can produce Rasagulla. Rasagulla he can produce in our kitchen. But they are so rascal. Oh, wonderful. The yogic siddhi, so Krishna gives him some power of yogic siddhi. And he feels that I have become God. And some flatterers, they also say, oh, no. The same dream, and as soon as death comes, everything finished. Your God hold and everything finished. So even dog come to the stage of dog again, another day. I am dog. First of all I am God, the next stage I am dog. This is good. Therefore Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Kano mayara base jachchavese. Why you are being washed away by the waves of Maya? Just fix up, stand up, between Krishna Das, it is shot, simply remain fixed up on this standpoint that I am eternal silent of Krishna. Then there is no more. And if you allow yourself to be washed away, Krishna gives you facility all life. Go on, be washed away.
The living entities are illusioned by the will of the Lord because they wanted to become like Him.
Yes.
As a person thinks of becoming a king without possessing the necessary qualifications, similarly, when the living entity desires to become the Lord Himself, he is put in a condition of dreaming that he is a king. Therefore, the first sinful will of the living entity is to become the Lord, and the consequent will of the Lord is that the living entity forgets its actual life, and thus dreams of the land of Utopia, where he may become one like the Lord. The child cries to have the moon from the mother, and the mother gives the child a mirror to satisfy the crying and disturbing child with the shadow of the moon. Similarly, the crying child of the Lord is given over to the shadow of the material world, to lord it over as a karman, and to give this up in frustration to become one with the Lord. Both these stages are dreaming illusions only. There is no necessity of tracing out the history when the living entity desired this, but the fact is that as soon as he desired such, he was put under the control of Atma Maya by the direction of the Lord. Therefore the living entity in his material condition is dreaming falsely that this is mine and this is I. The dream is that the conditioned soul thinks of his material body as I, or falsely thinks that he is the Lord, and that everything in connection with the material body is mine. Thus in dream only the misconception of I and mine persists life after life. This continues life after life as long as the living entity is not purely conscious of his identity as a subordinate part and parcel of the Lord. In his pure consciousness, however, there is no such misconceived dream, and in that pure conscious state, the living entity does not forget that he is never the Lord, but that he is eternally the servitor of the Lord in transcendental love.
That's all.
All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada.
All glory. Hold Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada.
You're just saying that we're not fallen. Actually, this is an illusion thing that we're fallen. Yet, I read something
The
that...
same example. In dream,
Yeah.
I'm not attacked by the tiger, but I'm thinking, oh, the tiger is there. It is simply dreaming condition.
But so many Vaishnavas are
So
praying.
as soon as you understand that this is not, I'm not in contact with Acharya, it was a dream, then you are liberal. Similarly, as soon as you understand all these material conditions of life are simply dreaming, I am actually servant of Krishna, then you are liberal. That is Krishna consciousness. If you keep in Krishna consciousness, the time and return and servant of Krishna, then you are liberal. Sagunan samatitayetana brahma bhuyaya kalpata Krishna. Immediately Brahma Bhuta. Brahma Bhuta prasannapa nasochati nakankati. There is no lamentation, no angering. Samasarveshu bhuteshu. You can see everyone on equal basis. Because he knows here is also another living entity. He is not a Chinaman. He is a living part and parcel of God. He is not a Christian, he is not a Hindu. He is simply thinking like that. So, giving Krishna consciousness, that is real benefit. To bring him to the original. Yes?
If when we realize Krishna, then we have no more desires, then how could we desire?
You create desire. If you simply keep this contact with Krishna, then there is no more any other desire than to serve Krishna. That's all.
This feeling that we have that we are fallen, that we are very fallen.
That is also illusion. That is also illusion. You are fallen means you have got some certain desire except service of Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is that if you keep yourself tightly in Krishna's service, there is no question of falling down or there is no question of mind.
But even at that state, still the body is affected by the modes of nature. We are experiencing desires.
You are not experiencing, your body is experiencing. You are feeling cold due to this body. You are not feeling cold. You are soul, you are not feeling cold.
But I think I'm feeling.
You are thinking that is illusion. That is
Yes.
illusion.
So
That is illusion.
to rise above that.
Yes. But not artificially, but this is the fact. You have to gradually rise to that platform. The fact is this. It's like when you are feverish. Actually, you are healthy, but it has come. So, in the feverish condition, you are thinking I am now feverish. But this feverish will not, condition will not stay. You come to the healthy state. Therefore, don't be disturbed with the feverish condition. Go on with the duty. Don't misidentify, now I have become feverish, everything is finished. No. That is external, it has come, it will go. That is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Matra sparshasta tontiva sitoshna chakadukhala. See, that's like seasonal changes. Sometimes it is very hot, sometimes very cold, sometimes warm. So these are coming and going. So if there is some feeling of pain and pleasure, simply just tolerate. But don't be absorbed in that. Therefore, physic cover, the first symptoms of a saintly person is physic cover. Tolerance. Tolerance. So go on reading, go on understanding, everything will be clear. So, next little Kirtan and pray.